Nation, author of the New York Times #1 best-selling book, The Russia Hoax, Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett, also in studio. Rare appearance, U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., Joe DiGenova. Yeah, you've done great work for me in the past. I have a lot of people that hate me. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
You and Victoria are very strong people, great lawyers. You watch this unfold. I really, truly believe in the process that people are innocent until proven guilty, though. That is a fundamental right of ours. That's being tossed to the wind.
Of course it is.
I also agree that the Republicans are taking it seriously and that they're giving Professor Ford every accommodation, which I think is the right thing to do.
Have to under these circumstances. They've given her an opportunity to testify after this horrendous process which Senator Feinstein has foisted on the Senate and the American people in a complete abrogation of senatorial responsibility. This is one of the great shameful moments in the history of the Senate, and she should be ashamed of herself, and so should every Democrat on that committee, not just because what they're doing to Judge Kavanaugh, but because of what they're doing to the Constitution.
What about Bork? What about Clarence Thomas? Just like every 2-4 years in elections, Republicans, racist, sexist, they can run through the whole list, throw Granny over the cliff.
The Democrats care about one thing: power. That's what this is about, and they are trying to delay a vote on this nomination so that it does not occur. And the Republicans must not let that happen, because if they do not confirm Judge Kavanaugh, they will lose the Senate.
Senator Collins, I don't always agree with her. She said it's not fair to either side.
It isn't.
She's right.
Right. And the explanation we're getting from Christine Blasey Ford doesn't make any sense. Citizens don't get to demand a federal investigation. There's nothing in the law or Senate rules that give a witness a right to insist on an FBI investigation
it's not a federal crime.
as a condition precedent to testifying. It's baffling to me that Ms. Ford was more than willing to sit down to the Washington Post and tell her story without demanding that they conduct an investigation. Yet she will not sit down and talk to the Senate Judiciary Committee unless there is an investigation. Whatever the FBI might or might not find should have no bearing on her ability to simply tell the truth.
Let me ask you about another issue that is a constitutional issue. And I can't believe that Article 2, Section 1 of our Constitution, the president's in charge of the executive branch. He's asked to declassify. He's asked for unredacted information. FISA warrants 302s. We have former CIA directors and current members of the House and Senate saying defy the president's constitutional authority. They're doing that tonight, shredding the Constitution.
And there's a reason for it, because they have much to fear. Because Mr. Brennan, Mr. Clapper, Mr. Schiff is covering up for them. Mr. Schiff is a co-conspirator in an effort not only to undermine this president, but to destroy this president and violate the Constitution by subverting the election. He knows that what was done prior to the election and after was a criminal conspiracy with Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Strzok, Page, Baker, Prystep, McCabe, everybody involved in it. And what they are doing now is they don't want any of this information to come out, because if it does, and as it comes out gradually, it will show categorically that they engaged in a criminal conspiracy to frame a sitting president of the United States.
Will these people be indicted?
I expect that ultimately they will.
All of them?
All of them.
Craig? What do we expect when we get this information?
I'm told the information will come out next week, but in trenches, that is, in groups, a slow drip, drip, drip. I'm also told that Dan Coates, the DNI, as well as Christopher Wray, the FBI director, and Rod Rosenstein, who has much to hide and cover up here by virtue of his own misconduct, will still redact some portions in defiance of the president's order. If they in good conscience feel like they cannot do it, they should resign. In the alternative, the president should fire them for insubordination, for refusing a direct order.
So, this is a very scary time, because the Constitution is clear on executive power.
Article 2, Section 1,
and
the
defying
very
the
first
president
sentence
of the United States is a scary time. You guys have been amazing. Thank you both. Congrats on the book, and congrats. You're one. I don't want to ever be on the other side of you. You're pretty tough. All right, when we come back, Kristen Fisher has the latest on the president's order we were just talking about to declassify the FISA documents, the 302s. Then we will speak exclusively to the House Intelligence Committee Chairman, Devin Nunes. Also, we have a big announcement. It's about tomorrow. That's straight ahead. All right, here with the very latest on President Trump's order to declassify FISA documents in the Russia probe, Fox News correspondent Kristen Fisher. You know, I thought just a week or so ago, Kristen, that we had Spartacus. Spartacus believed in openness and transparency. Where's Spartacus now? Anyway, how are you?
I'm great. It's an excellent question, Sean. But, you know, President Trump, he's continuing to defend his decision to declassify those documents. He's even putting it on par with what he considers to be his administration's top accomplishments, from tax cuts to rolling back regulations. He said in an interview with The Hill, quote, "I hope to be able to put this up as one of my crowning achievements, that I was able to expose something that is truly a cancer in our country." But Democrats say the material, which includes a FISA warrant and text messages from former senior FBI officials, is simply too secret to make public. They're also accusing him of trying to discredit an investigation in which he himself is a subject. Quote, "President Trump and the White House should not be given access to any sensitive law enforcement or national security information related to an ongoing federal investigation examining conduct by the president, his campaign, or his associates." But keep in mind, the Justice Department says that it's already started to comply with the president's order, though, Sean, it's still too soon to say exactly when those documents might be released.
I'm hearing it might be next week by my sources. Kristen Fisher in our Washington Bureau tonight. Thank you. Joining us now exclusively, he is the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Devin Nunes. On the issue of challenging the president's executive authority, it is very clear constitutionally. Article 2, Section 1 gives the president unfettered authority over all executive branch matters. The executive power shall be vested in the president of the United States. This isn't even in question, is it?
It's quite clear, Sean, and thanks for having me on again, as usual. This is quite clear. This is not complicated. We have seen most of this information. And, I mean, in terms of the FISA, it's only 20 pages. All you have to do is make a copy and send it out, put it on the Internet. So at this point, I do not understand why this hasn't been declassified. The president said, declassify immediately without redactions.
Is there any national security concerns?
No, and we've heard this same story over and over again. The same people that are out there that are running around saying, oh, there's national security concerns with this, we're going to reveal some sources and methods, happen to be the same people who are involved. They're either covering up for their agency or they are involved. And that's totally unacceptable. And this is why we have to continue to get this message out to the American people that have been force-fed this Russian Kool-Aid. This is just Russian Kool-Aid that was force-fed on the American people for 2 years. 2 years, Sean.
Mr. Chairman,
you've been covering it, but
you said the declassification will explain the struck page insurance policy. Explain that, and what else will we learn that you can tell us from when we get the unredacted information?
Well, we believe the insurance policy that many people know about that was around August, that there were text messages on that, August of 16. A lot of people believe that that was actually the FISA itself on the Carter page. We actually don't believe that. We believe they were very concerned about the dossier. We believe they know they were trying to snooker the FISA court and fool the judges, and they needed something else. And so James Comey has called it a mosaic of facts. Well, we need to see the rest of those facts, and that's what we want released.
And Lisa Page said for 9 months they were not able to find anything, and then we learned about a media leak strategy. It seems to now all be coming together, isn't it? Do you believe people in the highest levels of the FBI and the DOJ committed crimes against the United States and tried to undo a presidential election?
Well, I think many crimes could have been broken, and I have said this numerous times, that I don't know how DOJ and FBI investigate themselves, because they are all implicated in this. I'd like to see them do that, but they just are not taking action on it. As it relates, I want to make another point. The text messages between all of them. and text messages they were sending. You don't get to send out classified information on your cell phone. It's not classified. If it's classified, then right there and then they should be held accountable because they broke the law if they were sending classified information over cell phones. So that should be declassified immediately. So
right.
Look, I don't know that I believe some of the news stories that are out there. However, many news reporters have now said that they are stalling, that people within the DOJ and FBI are stalling on purpose.
And you will release the key Russiagate depositions before the election. I only have a second.
That's correct. Yep.
All right.